هند وليان وعمي وزوجته وأولاده تم إعدامهم بدم بارد.
Hind Rajab's case, a 6-year-old child pleading for her life, shocked the world. To understand what happened when Hind and her relatives were attacked, we worked with forensic architecture
distinct gunshots
and the audio research nonprofit Earshot to reconstruct the timeline.
So this is a satellite image that was...
Satellite imagery from Planet Labs taken that day shows Israeli tanks up the road from where the family car was parked at the gas station. This is around 3:31 p.m., a little less than an hour after Layan's call with Omar.
We can also see the amassing of Israeli tanks in the area, which are positioned at strategic locations, such as the intersections of roads, so that they have lines of sight along the main avenues and streets in the area.
Crucial to the analysis is the short call between Omar and Layan.
We hear a total of 64 gunshots fired in just 6 seconds.
What we heard on the phone call, is there any evidence of any kind of crossfire in the area?
No, what we're hearing are 64 gunshots that are all similar in characteristics, similar in loudness. The gunshots were happening roughly 74 milliseconds apart. This meant that the gun firing these shots was firing around 750 to 900 rounds per minute, which is in excess of what an AK-47 or a Kalashnikov will fire, which are the most common assault rifles attributed to Hamas. This range is consistent with Israeli army weaponry, such as the M4 rifle or the FN Mag machine gun on a Merkava tank. We can derive that for the shortest interval of 24 milliseconds, the shooter had to be 13 meters away from the phone, and with the maximum interval that we hear, which is 40 milliseconds, the shooter has to be 23 meters away from the phone.
It puts us within a kind of ring around the Kia that's between 13 and 23 meters.
Based off that range from the sound analysis, combined with satellite imagery and photos of the area around the car and gas station, they were also able to examine where the shooting could have come from.
We marked all of the bullet holes that we could see from those images. There are holes which appear to be exit holes, so larger openings that are flared, that we witness more on one side of the car than the other. So this gives us a kind of general direction as to the direction of fire. So there's one very distinct line of bullets that we can see at the back, the rear right-hand side of the car, which is a volley of about 30 or so bullets. We'll remember at the end of Fabio's analysis, we saw this ring, and what we're able to do is to superimpose this ring onto the site of the killing. And so we situate the 3D model of the car inside of the site, and we position it in its resting position outside the gas station. And we're also able to model the Merkava tank, and we're able to direct the weapons on the tank towards the car. And this is important because it allows us to draw a line between the guns on the tank and the entry holes that we see on the Kia. So based on positioning the tank in hundreds of places within that ring of 13 to 23 meters, we find that there's a position immediately to the south of the Kia, which appears to be the most likely position of the shooter for this recording.
So from what you've assessed of the Israeli tank position, at that distance, is it likely the Israeli soldiers would have been able to see who was in the car?
We think that it's very likely that they would have been able to see who was in the car, because we know that these tanks are fitted with optical equipment which allows them to see for many kilometers. So yeah, it seems very likely that whatever was going on in the car 13 meters away would have been easily visible.
حبيبتي والله لو بإيدي لأريكي.
صعب كتير صعب، والله أصعب شعور في العالم إني أسمع بنتي بتقول لي تعالي خديني ومش قادرة أوصلها. يا حبيبتي يا ماما والله ما قدرت أوصل لك، سامحيني سامحيني يا حبيبتي. قدرتش أصل لها.